All right, folks, we're back. We're back to working on a 1968 C10 in bright white. All right, this week we're going to get this rocker panel put on the truck. Been looking forward to that. I know a few of you have. Cover a quick procedure on how to do it. I'll get you in a little closer and show you what I'm doing and how I do it. Not always the right way. You know, that's what my commenters tell me. No, not most of you. You guys are great. But I did have one last week. We'll get into that later. For you newcomers, you're looking for orange Loctite, just kind of a Where's Waldo kind of game. And then I usually pick up a keyword every week somewhere and try to use it in the video. It's just kind of fun. When I say keyword, like, I know this week it's clowning around because somebody left me a message and told me to quit clowning around. Well, I'm a clown, so I'm going to clown around. You know, it bothered him so bad. We got to get to work. But it bothered him so bad, he come back an hour later to comment again about what a hack I am. I kind of feel bad for the poor guy. He's all upset and worried about it. It's going to be fine. Anyhow, enough clowning around and a little more butcher work because I should have been a butcher, but, well, I'm not any good at that either, so we'll just keep doing what I enjoy, these trucks. So what I've done, I know, black on black on black. We always have that, but I'm going to get you in a little closer. Real quick, cover this because we don't have much time. We only got like an hour and a half on this to cure up. Just kidding. I got these air boxes sealed back up. Got them put back together. Got the bottom kick panels done. I got a little work done on the inside. I'll show you what we're going to do next week. But this week, I want to get this rocker on. Now, we've got everything attached and affixed where it needs to be. What I've done, remember me and my tar coat. I got this all tar coated. Not one time, but twice. If once is good, twice is more gooder, right? Right now we're looking at panel binding this rocker on. But I wanted to show you this little spot I left for you to see. And then I'll get you right back where you're at. I want to show you this because this is very important with panel bond. If you don't scratch it up good, you're going to end up with panel bond on your paint. And paint is not structural. So you need to grind, because the panel bond will hook to both. This is paint. Paint here and paint here. You put panel bond in the middle, and this paint might peel off of the truck because paint's not structural. So I ground this down. I say grind. I use a little wheelie wheel flapper disc on it. And grind this right down. You see the bare metal right here? Grind this right down to bare metal. Now don't forget, leave a way for your water to get out. Right here, I didn't use any glue or anything. There's a little dent right here to let water out, and I got one in the front. But you leave this, you grind it down to bare metal. That gives it some tooth to bite into. But if you just put the panel bond on and squeeze her together, there might be some spots like this bare metal here that it doesn't squish out into, and that'll rust pretty quickly. So what I do after I get it all ground down, I know you can't tell because it's black panel bond on black paint, but you take and you put enough on there just to take your finger. I don't really want to do that because I'm going to get my finger sticky, but you just take your finger and just smear this stuff around, work it right over all that bare metal, get it worked right into those little grooves you cut. You want to cover all this stuff. I didn't think about that spot in the back. It probably won't touch there anyway, but you want to cover that metal with something. In this case, we want panel bond on it. So that's what I've done. This little spot. Front and back, inside and out. And now I'm going to run over. Well, I could take you over there. I think I got it ready. I do. So now what we're going to do is, now that we've got a skim coat on all our bare metal, and I'm going to push you back. Here's where you actually put the panel bond on. Oh, that didn't work for you, did it? You put the panel bond on to the locations in which you're going to bond panels together. Just run a, I don't know, 1/8 inch bead. I have glasses. I can't see nothing. I don't know, a small bead. 1/8 inch, not as much as caulk, because these two pieces of metal are coming together. If you put more, it probably wouldn't matter, but you hate to waste this expensive stuff. So I just run, this is the size of bead that comes out pretty naturally on its own. We know this is a contact point between the inner and outer rockers because this is where it's spot welded. Now, we could have spot welded it, but what's going to happen? That's what GM did. You're going to burn off the paint and primer and whatever you have between there around your weld area. And that's why those spot welds rust first. Because, well, they're not properly, I don't know, properly coated. I don't know where all this touches, but we're going to give it a bunch. It ain't going to hurt nothing. And we'll wipe off any excess. Hopefully we don't have too much. Oh, something else I didn't tell you. So down here, I'm almost there. Down around this rocker bottom, I'll put a little bead right there. This part of the truck, once you put the rocker on, you can't paint in there. So I suggest you put something in there. Now we're going to seam seal it, but I wanted coverage all the way to the back of the metal. So I painted that the color of the truck just to give it some good coverage. Well, we got to do this bottom. I already did the bottom part. Excuse my head if I'm in the way. I got to get this done. Again, I worry, but we got plenty of time. So once you rub your panel bond front and back on each piece of metal, and you put this bead between them, all three of those, it's all the same product. They're all going to blend right together and give you good adhesion, adherence. I don't know. You know me in English. All right, so that's back and bottom. You can see the front. I'll get up here just in some key areas I know that it's going to touch. We can't wait to show you the other side. We'll do that before I go today. I guess if you're going to err on the side of too much or too little, I would go with too much. There's that. Oh, did I say like and subscribe and all that crap there? I said it. Okay, let me grab that rocker. You don't need to come over here. Oh, excuse me. It's cold outside. It's not cold in here, but I still got the sniffles. All right, I got the top, the bottom. You only get one go at this. Now, don't get me wrong. You can pull it right back off and give it some more if you think you missed something. But am I nervous? I don't know, a little bit. I mean, this is what it is. So now it's just a matter of getting it. I know this is my number one spot to clamp it. Clamp it. Jed clamp it. There's today's movie reference. Jed clamp it. I'm going to clamp it on. And Jed's not here to help me. In the back, now am I prepared? Never completely. In the back, I need to put these. And I used my tool on something else. That's not good. Well, whoever said I'm always prepared when I start a video? Yep, nobody. That'll hold until I find my proper driver. Too many tools in too many places. Where did I put that? I don't have all day. I mean, we do, but not really. This is what I look like when I'm looking for something. What's a mechanic work on more than anything? Works on finding his tools. Finding things he dropped. Oh, that's right. I had to rebuild my buddy heater yesterday. For some reason, it decided to quit. I wouldn't suggest taking a buddy heater apart. There's a lot of pieces and parts to those things. Lots of screws and just, it goes on and on. All right, I'm getting there. Now I need an adapter. Yeah, there's like 40 screws in those things, and some screws are behind others. And yeah, maybe I'll put that on my Farm Living Fool channel. No, probably. I don't want to revisit it ever. Okay. I'm ready. I'm ready. All right, this back part, can you see? I'm in the way, aren't I? That's all right. We're going to get this. Oh, I didn't talk about my rocker. I feel like I'm off my rocker sometimes. Get this. Oh, yeah, that pulled up nice. Should I put one out there? They're cheap. You get to reuse them anyway. Oh, that one looks like it don't have a lot of. That's going to hold. Oh, look at that. Nice and close. Why'd I touch that? Just the way we wanted it. One in the front, just to kind of pull that in tight up here. Better not get too greedy with that. That's squeezed nice and tight. Now we got to do the bottom. How hard is that going to be? It don't look too bad. All right, I get done with this, I can quit panicking. And there's nothing to panic about. I was going to show you the bottom of my rocker. Oh, that worked good. I'll have to flip the camera over another day and show you. I ended up getting that rocker all put back together after I hacked the tar out of it. And it turned out pretty nice. Now, you don't want to over squeeze these. Just firm. Just till they're good and together. Am I still worried? Yeah, I'm still worried. Did I get enough on there? They're together. What am I worried about? I put some on there, didn't I? Yeah. Always got to second guess yourself. Anyhow, I finished the bottom up, put some sealer and primer and everything else on it to make sure it's... So I don't have to do the body work later on underneath on my head. So that would probably do it just like that, but oh, these panels are not built the best. I see a gap in the front. I'll seam seal it. What else am I going to do? They didn't build them all perfect. We know that. But hey, what around here is perfect anyway? Yeah, I like that a little tighter. Well, that one's tight enough. It looks pretty good. Again, you can't over clamp things. There's no such thing. Especially when you run out of clamps like I just did. I probably got some more over here. Oh, yeah, I seen seam seal? Body paneled that together. Yeah, I think I'm out of clamps. Let me look in my drawer real quick. You can't over clamp it. You can clamp it too tight, but I'm still clowning around. Always clowning around. I guess that's it. It's all the clamps I got. I mean, it's going to be fine, right? Let me get in there and look. I think it's together good. It'll be fine. I used plenty of panel bond on it. See, I got a little chintzy on. I like how it's fit. It fit up nice. Front's together real good. Even has a little bead I want to wipe off. Because when this stuff hardens, it is hard. A little Windex on the finger and just wipe it off. Paper towel. And then this spot here, you can spray it on it. I don't like that as well. I'd rather just spray it on my finger and wipe that off. Excellent. I cannot describe it to you guys enough how hard this stuff is. Now you can grind it off. It's not that terrible. Just don't like to create any more work for myself than I have to. All right, do we have any more spots? You can't tell. No, they make that panel bond in a different coat. Did it touch here? Oh, yeah. Solid. How about right there? Oh, nice and solid. Let's just clean this up a little more. Save me from sanding later. I said it later. Yeah, stuff I don't want to have to do later. Add more work to it. There we go. That's pulled in tight. I'm pretty happy with that right now. Yeah, and you guys are probably wondering, then why do you keep touching it? Because I can't help myself. That's a painted surface you're going to see. This one you're not. Now up in the front would be a painted surface in the door jamb. Not too critical, but again, I'll wipe it off. Easier to wipe it off now, and if you sand it later, you're always sanding some amount of... Well, that's great. I got to quit my monkey out. See this stuff? It gets everywhere. There it is. Let me go throw this in the trash. You guys been waiting for that a while. I know you have. Heck, I've been waiting for it for a while. So what are we going to do next? Oh, I got plenty to do next. That's it. Leave this. I do have one more. Forgot about that one. Will it work? I don't know if it'll. I can switch it with this one over here. Hang on a second. I got a little guy over here that I can use over there. Yeah, this has been on there for an hour already, and it isn't even started to dry, so I'm panicking for no reason. There we go. All right. We got one more little clamp. A little guy like that. Just because it seems like too far through here, I'll feel better if I put one more on there. There, now I'm happy. Now, for those of you that have questions about this and thinking about, well, how'd that work and how'd that work? You know how this is all put together. With this box here in the front, I did want to talk about it real quick. For those of you that are really thinking about doing this and not just enjoying watching, and you're welcome to just enjoy watching. When you put this on here, I panel bonded the bottom, but I do have to solid weld this top. Maybe on video it looks done, but it's not. This top isn't welded up. So I got to grind all the metal paint off of it, and just, it takes a bunch of time. I'll do that later. But I'll burn the coating off of the inside all of this. Now you can undercoat the outside again, but how do you do the inside? Well, remember you got those footwell vents in these. So I can spray from the inside and get those seams on both sides. So that's how you undercoat those. Anytime you're welding a box like this that you can't get to the inside, what I've done, and I've done it on my truck, you have to cover it with something. So you find a hole like this, or maybe the screw hole from the door hinge, and you run down in there with a fluid film makes a hose that has a spray tip that sprays in every direction. You can run that down into the closed boxed in area and then just spray and pull that hose back out slowly, and you'll coat that entire area. Come to think about it, it wouldn't hurt to do that even though I didn't weld on it, because I doubt GM did anything inside of there. If I remember, I'll do that. It's a good idea. So there it is. I know it's got some scuffs and scrapes on it because somebody's used it before, but when we get this, I don't quit looking at it there. I'll sand all this up and we'll repaint and refinish it. And it's probably got a dent or a ding in it because the bottom rocker, after I primed it, I see there was a ding in that. All right, so what's up next? Well, let's show you what I got going inside. Then we'll move around to the other side. So there you go. There it is. You see it? That's it. Are you looking? Look at it. Just look at it, would you? So I've fixed all these holes on the driver's side left footwell. The rocker was all rotted out. Remember that? And then the footwell had some rot in here. That's all full welded because it's floor pan. I didn't want it doubled up. And then I cut the spot here underneath your right foot, which would be your foot feed, right? Or gas pedal. But if you notice, it had a hole in it. You can see clearly. And it had a little hole there. It's weak back here, so I cut back. I might go a touch more. But this has a bump right here, and I'll show you on the replacement panel. So you can bolt in your throttle, your gas pedal. Well, the new LS swap deal uses a drive-by wire. And that's just a gas pedal like this. And that's kind of neat. And it uses electronics up here. So there's just some wires that go out to the engine, tell it what to do. So we're not mounting it on the floor. This gets mounted, and I don't want to lean on my rocker. This gets mounted way up in here. You follow me? So we don't want any bumps on the floor because we're not going to use them. So on the replacement panel, I'm getting it. On the replacement panel, You can see that bump right there. We don't want that bump. So I'm going to cut my replacement part out of right here. This flat spot with the curve on the side, so I can replace the curve on that side up in there that I've cut. So you can find a spot on the metal somewhere that's useful. May not be the spot that was designed for it, because depending on your project and what you're doing different, you might have to work with that. And then the next thing I'm going to do is way up in here, I have to cut that hole. It's not very square. I have to square that hole up. It's ragged, cut like with, I don't know, scissors. So I'll square that up. I'll do that. I'm going to have to lower the whole truck and climb in there. I probably won't bring it along for that. And then the last two things on this side, zoom around again, is down in here. Well, again, I already got it primed. But this is the original floor, and this is the replacement rocker. It's all finished, all seam sealed, ready to go, all the way to the back and in the corner where you can't see. Today, I probably won't weld over here with you because I want to let that rocker dry without bumping on it. But I will show you how we're going to do this gas tank filler. I mean, a million guys have done this because it's relocated gas tank. What you want to do is just put your piece of metal in front of this hole and trace from the inside. Yep, that's me clowning around again. And then you butcher it out, because I'm a butcher. And you get you a piece of metal. This came off a red truck, obviously. And you kind of bend it to the shape it needs to be. This has a little locator tab on the bottom. All you're going to do is set this in there, and you're going to weld that bottom. Yeah, I'm going to put a magnet on it when I do it. You're going to weld that bottom flush. And then you're just going to keep working this metal all the way around until it's flush everywhere. Best you can. And then body fill whatever you didn't get perfect. This ain't perfect. So moving right along. On this side, and then we're going to do some more fun stuff. On this side, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know what to tell you. I said it was going to be easier. I was wrong. I was completely wrong. This support comes down and tapers inward. Anyhow, it's rotted completely out. What happens is the cab support underneath gets a hole rotted in the front. Then it starts getting, dirt and mud in it. Then it starts rusting. Yeah, see, there's all that you want to pull out of there. I'll eventually get it all pulled out of there. But that gets trapped inside of this. Once it rots through the inner fender, which obviously it did a long time ago, then it gets trapped into this and fills this up and rusts it out. And there's just no saving that. So I'm going to have to build a new support here in the bottom. Comes at an angle out and comes all the way up to this seam. Then I got to put a piece of metal in here, and then this is flimsy, so that has to be replaced as well. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Probably a lot of little bending and spot welding, and I'll bring it back, show you some other time. But it gets better. Yes, I said it. It gets better. We're going to do this game. It gets a lot better. So at the back of the cab, holy Moses, this is something else. The picture don't even describe how bad it is. This isn't hooked to anything. This little piece of metal right here is so thin. You can see, the only reason I left it attached is it kind of gives me an idea where exactly it goes. So I'm going to have to build a new one of those and weld on. This face has to be replaced. And then this part has to have a piece of metal onto that face. And then we got the new inner rocker. It don't have to be pretty, but it has to be strong. So I'm going to do that, and I'll probably bring it back 3 or 4 times on that as well. As far as in the front, we got about the same amount of work or more to do. Don't know why. Just the way things are. This hole thrusted all the way up into here. So I'm going to have to cut. I got to get my pointer. I got to find my pointer again. It's around the shop somewhere. I got to come in here from this point where the red's at, all the way across and forward. All right, that's another day. We're going to monkey with that. But I did want to show you this. I think we're on rocker number 4. because this is the original color of the rocker. But look at this. Can you tell? Somebody has. Can you see the yellow tint to it? Somebody has brazed this in. So it too was not the original rocker. I think we're on rocker. We're going to put on rocker 4, I believe. But there won't be a rocker 5, not in my lifetime. Not with all the undercoating and everything I've put onto this thing. It'll be around. So yeah, that's not done yet. So just stop. I'll get to that. Don't worry about that. I'm clowning around, aren't I? All right, just trying to have some fun. All right. So this is the next fun part. These are those pads that were on the inside, the firewall. And what I've done to those, and I didn't see, I'm not prepared. Don't go away. I'm gonna grab my tape. I'm sure it's sitting over here. What I do to these, rather than to replace them, I'm sure you can buy them. You can buy anything. Just if everybody's got enough money, just buy new. What I do to these, and it's hard to do with gloves on. What I do to these is I paint them with a gloss paint. You kind of see the shiny spots. And you might wonder, why'd I bother painting them first? Well, I use Gorilla. I'm not saying that you have to. Pick your brand, pick what you like. But you want some kind of durable tape that's going to go onto these. Now, I know somebody, I'm not going to mention his name, will be commenting about how this is so wrong. But all you want to do, I might as well get some scissors. You want to cover this so it looks good if and somebody sees it. Now, somebody might not even ever see it. You can kind of see mine a little bit once in a while, but for the most part, you can't see it in my 71. Can I say it? You guys care if I say it? I'm going to say it. In the 1971 C10 in Spanish gold. I did the same thing. What you want to do is just get this covered with this tape. This is going to give it a good finish. It's going to help it. I can trim these later. It's going to help it last longer, be more durable for if you. It's up in the kick well if you don't know what they are. And what happens is they just deteriorate so bad. So you put this tape on there. I'm not too concerned with rubbing it on hard when you first do it. I get them all on there, rub the whole thing down. This is just one of them things that just really does make a nice project. Now, if you guys are wondering, well, that's going to get hot and it's going to fall off. I don't live in the South where it's super hot. Maybe that's possible, but this stuff's pretty sticky. And if you're wondering about the ends and it's going to peel and look bad, no, not so much, because the carpet, I'm trying to cut and talk at the same time. The carpet is going to come up, well, not on this one. This is on the fuse box. This one's completely invisible. But the hump, the one that goes over the hump in the middle, well, I'm used to. This stuff is sticky. You don't want to do that. I'm trying to talk. I can't talk and work. The hump in the middle is goes probably 4 inches underneath the carpet. So the odds of it ever coming loose or you seeing the frayed edge or anything peeling up on it are virtually impossible. And it's sound deadener too. You know me, I'm sound deadener and rust proofing and all the stuff I worry about. These aren't my best scissors, but whatever. I could just do this game if you're quick enough. Now I put this on the whole front. Yeah, you guys can hang out for a minute with me, right? I'm gonna waste more tape this way. This whole front covered. I think that goes right up to it. And when you go to the back, oh, dang it, Darren. I wanted it to all overlap pretty. Again, nobody's going to see this. I will spend a little more time on the center hump just because you can see it a little sometimes. This one you don't see it all. Well, unless you're changing fuses. All right, there we go. I need a little piece right there, don't I? There's a method to my madness. No, we got that all on there, and I butchered everything. Just flip this thing over. That's why I like to have my gloves back on. But you can see on the back side, and hold it up, on the back side where all your holes are at. And you just take a razor cutter, cut those squares back out. I think that's just, no, there was a circle there. There's a little notch out on this side. And then these circles you can see from the inside. Those are what mounts it, affixes it to the firewall. So there's that. I'll rub that one down a little better later. Sorry. And there's only two of these. This is the center hump covering one. Again, painted with shiny paint to give the tape something extra to stick to. The paint will absorb more quickly. Get a good pattern going. Let's just start in the middle. The tape will, or the paint will absorb into any places that are loose or soft. And then I'm done with those scissors. That's why I brought this too. Yeah. Okay. It's going to look nice. Believe me. It's covering the whole thing piece by piece. Overlap them a little bit in case there's some shrinkage. And this tape will get hot, and I don't know if it shrinks or not, but just keep covering it like that. You can see how nice it's going to look. I'll trim all the edges up later. And again, this goes up underneath the dash, and the bottom, the carpet will come up on the bottom a couple, 2, 3, 4 inches. I don't remember. I like to do it in one direction and just overlap them so there's only one seam, kind of like they do siding on a house. All your ends go one way. You get the idea. I don't know if there's anything else really to show you this week. This is what all I've been working on. Just thrilled to get that rocker on there. Finally. Hey, you can't hurry it when you're doing a good job and you're doing it right. that'll get somebody talking. Oh. You know, one man's junk is another man's treasure. I forgot, for you new watchers, I always like to throw in a old guy phrase, and that's this week's. One man's junk's another man's treasure, and one man's right is another man's wrong. At least when it comes to cars and trucks. All right, I think we've covered everything for today. And I'll just keep working on this old guy stuff like I do. And next week when we come back, I'll try to remember to show you what this looks like finished. Appreciate you guys coming. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Hope you enjoyed the channel. I enjoyed doing this channel stuff for you. I don't do it to make money. I'm not interested in making money. Just like to share with people. Maybe you guys can give me some ideas too. I don't know it all. I'll tell you that for sure. Hey, for you new guys that are here too, in the description, I'll always leave the time and maybe a hint. If it's a tough week, a hint. If it's pretty obvious, I don't. But a timestamp of where the orange Loctite's at, in case you didn't find it. That's it for today, folks. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next week. We're going to be working on this side. Same fun stuff, I promise. And we'll do that filler cover, too. I'll throw something in there you weren't expecting on top of that. Again, we'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves. How many times am I going to turn this off? That's an age running thing, too. Oh, I didn't mention people's names. How could I forget that again? Hang on. Hang on, you people that are new here and you people that are old here. I'll say thank you to you as well. Appreciate all my viewers, and there's a few new ones. It's kind of fun. All right, Mr. Cool Guy Air. He's new to the channel. Thanks for coming and watching. Diamond Nathan, thanks for watching. I don't know if you subscribed or not. Doesn't matter. If you haven't, please do. Helps out the channel. Whatever. Hale, thank you. Classic Chrome, Chris, and a new Tom. We got our old Tom. He's not that old. But the Tom has been here a while, and we have a new Tom. We could have 50 Toms. I'd be good with it. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week. How many times am I going to take to turn this off now? 3? Let's go with 2.